What's up, guys? Tonight is kind of a special thing. I'm taking a look at my first Fanstoys purchase. And this is Spindrift 1.0. They've released a Spindrift 2.0, but this is the first version, the FT27, I believe it is. And I think 2.0 is 45, FT45. I might have that wrong, I'm not entirely sure, but this is their offering of Seaspray, and he's pretty cool. Now, you saw my Outback custom video. I was talking about being impatient about finishing my mini bots. Well, this is a bit of the same deal, and I'm going to show it off just a little bit. We're going to talk about first the actual third-party offering, everything that they have, and et cetera, et cetera. One of the things that they have is alternate headstock. This is the headstock that comes on him, but you can change it for a little bit more like square, toony kind of thing. And speaking of tune, this is a little bit more lean. He's a little bit, more streamlined, more heroic looking Seaspray. It's fine. This is kind of what I was wanting. I didn't want like the fat, chunky one, but I just wanted this one because I think he looks pretty cool. So we're going to do that. We're going to do some size comparisons while I've got him in this mode. And this is a masterpiece line, so his gun is not a 5mm insert. It is on the little square peg that folds into the slot in the hands, and you can see he does have the little fingers. We're going to talk about articulation too before I transform him. This is how he comes in the box, so I kind of want to go from this to alternate mode. So let's get into it. He's got the pistols, and he's got these little side gun deals that come off there. Yeah, they're not stuck on there. You can take them off, but that's where they go in that little slot. So we're going to put these aside, and we're going to do some size comparisons before we transform him. So the first size comparison that we're going to do is the Masterpiece Bumblebee, which he is meant to scale with Masterpiece line. I have the Masterpiece Bumblebee, fortunately enough, right here, and there's how he scales with that. Not too bad. Roughly about the same height as the Masterpiece Bumblebee. I don't collect a lot of Masterpiece lines. I don't collect a lot of third-party lines. But every once in a while, they come out with stuff that I'm like, you know what? That fits in my collection. Let's go. This just happened to be one of those times. So fortunately for them. All right, so there's Masterpiece Bumblebee. I think he scales in quite nicely with the current mini-bots. And we've got Warpath. This is the Kingdom Warpath here to show you how he scales with him. And they're roughly about the same height head-wise. I think Seaspray might be like a millimeter more or something, but not much. He's the same height as the new mini-bots, which I'm fine with. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go with, I have Road Ranger handy because I was messing around with him the other night. But, picture like this is Huffer and Pipes, right? So there's Seaspray with Huffer and Pipes. There he is, there's Spindrift with the new mini-bots. So he actually fits in fairly well. All right. So there's that. Here is the new Bumblebee. In case you're wondering like how he stacks up to the new, that's the Netflix Bumblebee. So in case you're wondering how he stacks up to that one, there's your size comparison there. All right, let's get into articulation before we get him transformed. Now, the articulation is really good. The only complaint that I would have is like what I've seen other reviewers of, like, he doesn't have as much of an ankle rocker that you'd want him to. Like, it's limited just a little bit, but it's still not bad. Like, you can still get some really good poses. Just not, quite as good as some of the more like recent main lines. But I mean, still, that's pretty decent, right? So the arms, on the other hand, can go all the way up to there, and you kind of need him to do that for transformation, but we'll get there. He's got double jointed elbow, always good. We've got upper bicep swivel. He does have the wrist swivel, so we've got that. And as you've seen, he's got the opening hand. The head is on a ball joint, a little bit down, a little bit up, but mostly side to side. And because of the headstock, not really a lot confused, and the other one's like that too. The other head's like that too. So you can't really do the confused Seaspray. He knows what's going on. All right, so we've got a waist swivel, and because of the transformation, he has kind of an ab crunch, but not really. Like you can see me messing with it. Kind of, but it's not really supposed to be an ab crunch. But I say we give it to him. We be generous, we give it to him. So waist swivel, we got the legs that can go all the way up to here, out to there, coming down, out to there, and going back to there. So pretty decent with the legs. The knees are a little wonky for me, but it's okay. That's as far as I go with that joint, but he does have a double jointed knee, so you can get the 90-degree that way. But the aesthetic right there kind of bothers me, but I can get over it. We do have the upper thigh swivel, and you do get a toe tilt down because of transformation. Nothing up, and as we said, a little bit of an ankle rocker that could be better, but it's not bad. So, he's not perfect, but he's still really good. One thing that I do like, well, I've got him in robot mode, one thing I do like is these can move either way, which I kind of like because I was watching the show the other day, and it's the Golden Lagoon, I believe, where Perceptor and Seaspray get captured, and he's taken Perceptor out of the Decepticon base, and he folds that back, and they rocket out of the base like that, underwater, of course. So I like that it can fold back like that. I hope the new mainline one can do the same, because I really dig that. That's really cool. Okay, so I believe that's all we can talk about him with the robot mode. You've seen his accessories. You've seen how those work. I think that's all for robot mode that we can do. Let's get him transformed up and talk about that. So the first thing, you are going to want the fists all the way closed. We're going to move this. I don't think we can do this just yet. No, we cannot do it yet. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So you have to turn the head around and put it down into the chest cavity, but we can't do that yet. So, all right, so the first thing that we're going to want to do is move the arms up like this, like I said, and then these panels right here are going to fold out and then fold around this way. Now this, it's not the strongest plastic, but it's not the thinnest plastic either, so just exercise caution, right? So there you go, and it's friction held in, so it's fine, but just makes me a little nervous, you know? But it's fine, it's okay, it's all right. I don't see any stress marks on mine or anything, so I think we're good. So, but you got to do that in order to take advantage of that ab crunch, and he'll come apart and open up like this. And while you're here, you can go ahead and fold this chest panel. Will come up like so. Okay? After you do that, that's when you can fold the head around and push it down into the chest cavity. Now, no, it doesn't go down all the way. He's got a little bit of a peekaboo thing going on right there, as somebody's called it before. But it's not terrible. It's in the boat mode. It's in the back. Could have been done a little better, but it doesn't bother me. All right, so let's get to the feet. Well, he does a complete back bend. Let's get to the feet. You got to open these up like so. And then I think they wanted you to do something like, how's it go? Something like this, and then down. Well, either way. No, okay, I remember what it is now. It is fold this back and then come down, because you're going to have to do this wonky thing. You're going to have to take advantage of that double joint right there and bring him up to about here. Yeah, because his legs are going to have to sit down like this. And then that's not all the way done. There we go. Come on, dude. There it goes. All right. So you saw how that goes. And then to have him in there, this will open up here. You will fold the waist over this way. All the way. It's got to be all the way. And then that will tab down like so. And now we're going to do what we always do with Seaspray, is work the arms into the feet or the legs or whatever. The body's going to come down like this. And this is a bit of a frustrating part because we got to get the hands in there. But you see how this has to slot up in here. So I'm going to go this way, but I think let's try it like this first. There. Okay. So you saw how that went? Now let's go ahead and redo the slot in the hands into the fists because it's Seaspray and he's like Optimus Prime, that there's always going to be this. You know, Optimus Prime's hands always go behind on his sides or whatever. Seaspray always tucks into the legs. Like so. And that part came undone. This chest area is a little finicky. And this is the most finicky part right here, is these little tabs. Because they have to come over here. They have to tuck under like that. And crud. The arms have to be bent like this. I'm sorry. They have to be bent like that with that little slot facing you, because it has to go like this, and that has to tab into the slot. So I got to do that on the other side too. God dog it. Like so. And tab, then slot that back in. Okay, take two. Use take two. All right. So, and you know, that's going to fold up or whatever. See, transformation on this guy's a bit finicky, but it's okay. Like, robot mode is awesome, but hovercraft mode is a little finicky. So that has to tab into the arm. And that has to fold up like this. So yeah, the top center is a bit finicky. These panels are supposed to cover everything that it's not covered, and then these little tabs are supposed to tab into the arms, but it's doesn't work quite as well as I'd like. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. That is as close as I can ever get it. And ouch. The front of the boat is supposed to tab like so. But there you go. There's Seaspray in his boat mode. I don't think I have everything properly lined up because I don't think that's supposed to be leaning back like that. But again, that's kind of the problem area with this figure. Other than that, I mean, it's not bad at all. It all makes sense to me. It just doesn't work like how I'd want it to work. It all makes sense. You know? Everything looks like it's supposed to go together, but it just doesn't. The thought process was good, but the execution could have used a little work, kind of thing. But it's not bad. It still gets you where you want to go. I don't think it's terrible. It's just it's really finicky and it's kind of hard to line up and stuff. But that's okay. I'm not the only one to think so. Even the third-party guys who like this figure will say the same thing. So you got this. I think I scuffed it. That was me. That was a while back. But anyways, you split the legs apart and work this guy down in there. I don't feel like undoing anything right now. Yeah, you work this guy down in there and then close it back up, and the gun goes there, and then these little guys go. Is it here? I want to say it's here. I don't think it's there. These little guys go on this dude somewhere. Yeah, right there into that slot and that slot. Well, you get the idea. It's in the little slots. There's grooves for them. You can see them. I don't know why they gave him these little blasters, but whatever. I mean, it's fine. So there we go. So yeah, there he is in boat mode, all armed up. Does not have wheels. That's a little unfortunate. It'd be cooler if he rolled, but he's a hovercraft, so whatever. Now, I will agree with Bobby Skullface was talking like this is a, really good area for paint. I think it would have been cool if they made like some little stripes. So like little black highlight stripes kind of along here. That would have been neat. But the only paint that you get is really right there. Everything else is just colored plastic. The front end definitely feels like die-cast metal. I don't know if it is or not, but it definitely feels like he's got some weight to him. So, yeah. But there you go. There is Seaspray. These turrets spin really well. These little fans right there. But there is Fanstoys Seaspray in his boat mode. Works with your current mini-bots. People are upgrading to the 2.0 version, so they're probably going to be selling this one. Prices on him kind of vary, so if you're like me and you're impatient, go get you one. But there he is. That's my first Fanstoys, and I gotta say, not bad. Alright guys, well, as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.